Hey guys, welcome back. We're Trekyards. He's Commander Cockings.
I'm fantasic. We're a dynamic duo.
Sure, yes, of course.
Dynamic. That answer was very dynamic, Stuart. As are the dynamic pair of the ship owners that we're going to talk about today. For the ship, I'm Commander Cockings. Hello, guys. Hello, Stuart. What are we doing today?
Today we're looking at L'ak and Moll's ship. I didn't realize that L'ak and Moll sounds like Moll and L'ak is like rock and roll, kind of.
I just keep thinking Darth Maul when I hear him.
I know. Well, Moll is just doll with an M. It's Moll in the subtitles. But yeah, I hear Moll too, and she's, like I said, she reminds me of the character from Ahsoka. So it's like,
Anyway, Stuart, their ship, which was introduced, given now fair to say that the sense of the idea of getting beauties of it is harder to grab in this. We have what we have. They have many angles, but it's a high octane space chase at green lighting blur and some back shots. So great for general shapes, but we'll look at this, I'm sure, in detail later. But clearly a small ship, and clearly kind of their Millennium Falcon version of the 30 whatever century. Here's the first clearest view that I had. What do you think, and what do you think of it in the episode?
I kind of like this ship, honestly. It feels like kind of a mishmash of other ships we've seen a little bit. That main hull is quite interesting. I do like the way that the engines spin around, but honestly, it's a cool looking ship. And yeah, I like it. I think it's a nice civilian type of trade vessel or freighter. So yeah, I think it's a neat looking ship. I mean, we get a very close-up shot of the top of it with Burnham on it to start. So, I mean, how about you? What did you think of it?
Yeah, it's pretty good. It obviously gives book ship vibes, but 92% more standardized in terms of shape and profile. It's certainly very safe design, but if you're just going to have a nice-looking, gentle ship, this fits the bill well. And I do like when TV shows or movies have a specific sequence which facilitates the need to actually detail the ship, because that it skims the hull, so there's actually more detail than the average Discovery ship, which tend to be somewhat either lacking or just pipes at the back. So I appreciate there's a bit more detail to this than the average Discovery. But it looks nice. I like the general shapes, the twisty nacelles. We haven't got a problem with them. It's mega future. We have no sense of what it can do besides fire warp flares, which is great. But it feels like an absolute average vessel, but nice in its own way. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Feels almost like a hot rod too. And there's lots of glowy bits. I mean, for a video game, that's where you shoot, right? I mean, playing video games have taught me anything. I'm just saying.
Yep. If it glows, be shooting.
Yeah, but it has. I can't quite lock down the vibe I'm getting off that main hull.
It's not original, but also it's not a one-for-one of anything. And they could have gone more Millennium Falcon, although I suppose Bookship kind of is with the offset. Yeah, it's nice. I think more views and more shots of it. It's always a problem with doing very specific character action scenes. That is it green? I don't think so, but it kind of washes it in a hue that, we'll see in other shots. This is the other good shot, which we were happy to have just before it warps out, from a standing start, as they tend to do.
It almost, and I know this is the scene where they go to the Romulan ship and the debris field and all that, but it looks, from just this image, if I had seen this without any context, I'd say, is that like a Romulan scout ship? It kind of has that vibe to it. That green coloring you were talking about, it's kind of bathed in that.
There is still a bit of green hue, yeah.
Yeah. But it does feel like it could be a Romulan scout ship or something of that nature. So
not a million miles off, yeah.
Yeah.
This one, I think they've not, situational, right? I don't think the back has the same level of greebling that the other shot did, because that's the zoom in. And if you look at the wing, there is so little detail. This is more, I consider, a Discovery sort of low end. Like, as far as we need to get, because it's funny, because my Trek Shorts team, we do more detail in our models, and we're a fan film group. But that's just us. Doesn't mean it doesn't look nice, just we have, a higher bar, we think. But the grunge is nice. It feels in character. This shot in particular, without knowing the ship, if it's just in context, the front portion, which is obviously the left-hand side, there's a black bit that looks almost like a cockpit. This could easily be a shuttle, or like a runabout, or a fighter, like the insurrection ship. The way the wings are is very that sort of fightery vibe, which I like. Obviously, it's much, much bigger than that, but it kind of has that like I said, fast, zippy sort of feel. I do quite like the back single engine curved thing, kind of like Discovery from Universe.
Again, I want to see more of this ship, and we did see a lot of it in the first 2 episodes for sure. But like you said, a lot of the shots were hard to get like screen grabs from because they're motion blur and stuff.
Like we know the basic shape, but we want to know anything else about it.
And I do like I said at the start, I do like the way that those side engine things do like rotate around the ship. I think that's actually quite dynamic and cool. So
unnecessary, but they do make a giant thematic point of their show-offs. So even if it's silly, yeah, they know.
Yeah.
Like that actually is a good get out of jail free. The next shot is a collage where, as you can see, the bottom 2 are hard to see, but it does give you basic shapes. And if you combine them, I think you get a pretty clear sense of what the overall shape is. And it's a good shape. It's very familiar. We've yet to see the forward cannons, I believe, which look to be also sticking out of nowhere.
Yeah, that's the thing. They're also detachable, which is cool. Could come in handy at some point. I'm sure we're going to see a lot of this ship during this season, so we'll get a lot more detailed looks at it and take a better look at it later.
What other sci-fi universe could this be from? Because we've said, I was in Picard Season 1, it's a Mass Effect ship, like, without any changes, and other times like that feels generic sci-fi. This, to me, doesn't read not Trek, if that makes sense. Like, what is there anything that you think, that's just too much Star Wars, too much Stargate, or is it actually doing how it's fitting in?
It's funny you mentioned Stargate, because I would put this in Stargate for sure if I'd just seen it. I think it could work for something like that.
Probably connect to the nacelles, I'd say, because that's...
Well, yes, yeah. But Star Wars, I don't really get a Star Wars vibe off of it. Definitely video gamey. So a lot of video game franchises, this could just easily be plopped into. Or
the hero ship, which I'd be perfectly fine to see it in. Yeah. But I do actually rather like the internal greebling to the nacelle wings. Like, that I thought was a nice touch, because these ships are from very low detail and gribbly filled, at least in logical, but I think those actually work well and have those little sparkly lights. They're abstract, but I like them.
Yeah, and you gotta think too, the ship also has a cloaking device. It's a pretty cool little ship as far as what it's capable of.
Although in fairness, everything does in that future.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Like the shuttles and the Cyrus ship and literally everything. But why wouldn't you? It's almost 1,000-year-old tech, because the Silverbuns had it, which of course is future tech, but blah, blah, blah.
And in episode 2, I mean, Book is kind of scrolling through the files in sickbay, and you do get some clear, questionable shots of it. You get a nice shot of the back there with the 3, I guess, impulse engines.
It's thinner than it appears in the other views. And these are obviously tremendous shots when they take a 3D model and take it out of a space render program and just... Like, you see the shapes.
There's also a side shot of it when he's scrolling as well, which doesn't reveal much, but it makes the ship look much more simplistic in its shape. Maybe, actually, kind of has a Tholian vibe almost from the side, just because of the simple shape.
Entirely irrelevant, but they mentioned Tholians and Breen with new names to their empires, and in a great way. That's great. Good, keep doing that, guys. Use the universe.
Yeah, the references were great, for sure.
Because that's the thing, we've got so many races that have had space travel for so many years, but also Burn stopped a lot of things. Now, I can't remember what they call them, the commuters. It's not what they're called. What Book is? It used to be. Those guys, the non-Federation commuters. They also use slipstream and transwarp and all the other things, so that makes sense. Or their ship is at warp. So I wonder if this is if they kind of came to prominence after the lithium came back, or if they were before. She's youngish, so it could be either, right? So the reason I'm saying that is this like a newer ship, because I wonder if it'd be interesting plot-wise if they were given or they stole a high-end new ship that was a test bed for an alien, like a Tholian or whatever. And it's like, well, damn, they happen to have this really, we don't know anything about them yet, but it's such a, like I said, you say Tholian, there's actually some, obviously Tholian combined with something else, but yeah, who designed it and why? I'm interested.
I'm sure we will never get the answers, but yes, I'm interested also.
Yeah, it has a certain story to it, which I appreciate. It isn't just like Bookship was an interesting design, but it felt in its own way. I didn't really, you know what I mean? It was so, this is it. I didn't need to know where it came from. This makes me want to know where, which is interesting, the difference. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, yeah. So anyway, we don't have much views of this. Well, we do, but not clear ones to talk about right now. I'm sure we might have more to say about this later
There'll be
in the
follow-up.
season.
Yep, like the bridge, interiors.
Yeah, we see some interiors and stuff. So.
Probably book ships redressed, I'm guessing.
Yeah. So make sure you're subscribed and then bell notification icon clicked so you don't miss those when we do see more views of it, because we will be talking about it. We do love our ships and our tech, as you guys know. So please comment down below what you thought about the ship. Hit the like button. Do all the things. Make sure to subscribe. I just said that, though. So anyway, yes, and join us.
If you like what we do here, you can donate via Patreon. It's a monthly donation service or one-time donation at trekyards@hotmail.com. That is the PayPal link. Or you can super chat on live, super thanks on a video, or join the channel on YouTube and get the fleet. The fleet! Yeah, helps out if you can. Thanks in advance.
Until next time, he is L'ak.
And he is the the girl from Star Wars, the Ahsoka. Bye, guys.